But oh, you beauty! What a head, son!
Welcome back to Onto the Ball. Brighton 2, Liverpool 2. Travis, what a game.
What a game.
I tell you what, for the first 40 minutes, Brighton absolutely schooled us. Like, schooled us. I've never seen anything like it. We barely got a kick. We were chasing shadows. As a Man United fan, Travis, you have got to employ De Zerbi, Roberto.
Isn't it's the De Zerbi school of possession knocks, mate. Like, every player can play anywhere on the park, man. It's like a beach volleyball team, man. It's just ridiculous.
Their best footballer is their keeper, Trav.
I know it is. I know.
Like, it's insane.
But both keepers are like that, though. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Salah out to Sabosle. Turning back. Salah. Oh, good defending. Sorry, Trav.
That's all right, mate. No. Searching for a winner, I'm guessing. But yeah, De Zerbi's an utter, flat-out joke. His coaching methods are unbelievable. Like, what players like Lewis Dunk doing in that, just wrapping balls into the centre forward and stuff, like disguised passes and that. It's literally unbelievable the way he's got that team playing. It really is.
The goalkeeper is literally like a sweeper. It's like they've got 12 men.
I know.
They just sweep it around. We were honestly chasing shadows. Score update: West Ham 2, Newcastle 2. Kudus, 89th minute.
He's going to cost a lot of money, but he's worth the money, I think. Because look at what he's doing with players like Danny Welbeck and Lallana and Milner and stuff. Like, he's just making them feel 21 again. I mean, they're just making change after change. Like, players coming in and out the team. There's just literally the system only changes tactically, but the philosophy stays the same. And it's just brilliant to watch. Like you said, Liverpool couldn't get near Brighton for the first half, and somehow they went in 2-1 up. I think the first goal was a little bit of a slop. Well, both first goals were sloppy. The goal Liverpool gave away was awful. But the Brighton goal as well, theirs was a bad pass and a bit of a giveaway as well. And Liverpool punished them like clinically, Mo Salah. But I just, like you said, I think it's a great fixture. I think a draw. I'm not saying you'll be lucky to get a draw because of the finishing, and I think Liverpool have been much better in the first part of the second half. But once Brighton have equalised, I think they're back on top again. It'd be interesting to see how it ends. How long's left?
It's in the 90th minute, and there's 4 minutes added on.
Is it? You take a draw, though. You take a draw there, mate. They will pan a lot of teams.
Not really. I mean, obviously being 2-1 up, the defending for their equaliser, Andy Robertson, hang your head in shame.
I know.
He dangled a left leg at it and then pulled it away.
Matoma's cooking Joe Gomez as well.
Matoma is, I've said it before, he's the next Sadio Mane.
He's different.
Whoever scoops him up is going to have an absolutely incredible winger for the next 5 years.
See, this is the thing.
It's now or never for him. He's 26, Trav.
I think we need to stop treating Brighton as like a small club that just needs to sell to the buy. That they might just add to this and keep the manager. They can quite easily gate crash the top four quite comfortably, mate, to be honest. Because, like I said, United aren't on it. Newcastle in the Champions League, they're going to find it a little bit more difficult. You've seen the energy they put into the PSG game. They're drawing now. Liverpool are dropping points. This will be 1 point out of the last 6. And I know they're both tough fixtures, but at the end of the day, you look at it, if this stays a draw, you will have...
Oh, well done in there. I'll tell you who's ace, Trav. Ryan Gravenberch.
Yeah, is he playing quality?
Oh, he's brilliant. I don't know why he didn't start. Go on, Salah, go on. Oh, come on.
Big chance.
I'll tell you who's been absolutely shocking today on his return to Brighton, Alexis McAllister.
Yeah. Occasionally got to him a little bit.
I don't know what it is. He's been absolutely atrocious. Anything bad we've done, he's been at the root of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, that first goal, it wasn't the best ball into him by Van Dijk, but my God.
They
You
literally
cannot be trying to turn with against Brighton of all teams. You cannot be trying to turn there and be caught on your heels.
I think Brighton could keep the ball for like 10 minutes without losing it. It's just ridiculous how good they are in possession.
Yeah, it was that first 40 minutes. I was like, honestly, blown away, thinking we're going to get slapped here. Like, we can string 3 passes together. And Brighton, how they went in 2-1 down, I'll never know. It's a decent 5 minutes from us, an amazing 40 minutes from them. But that's football in the Premier League, isn't it?
And that's the thing as well. If you look at the way Brighton press, they're not just blasting around the place, are they? Like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like a high intensity press. It's so calculated the way they do things.
Who is the keeper for Brighton? Is it Steele?
They've got 2 keepers. They've got Steele, but there's another one in today. It's Vander something. I forgot his name now. I forgot how you pronounce it. But yeah, they've got 2 keepers, and they're playing exactly the same fashion. They both got the same level of quality with the distribution, mate. Just unbelievable.
So they're switching ball-playing keepers. Basically, who do you think he is? Mikel Arteta.
That's the thing as well. I don't know if you managed to have a look at that Kevin Prince Boateng interview on Vibe with 5. He's talking about, if you get just 5 minutes, just have a look at the segment where he talks about De Zerbi, because he coached him in Italy. And he basically said he uses the goalkeeper as another player. He's like, what's the point in having the goalkeeper if you're not going to use him? And he just uses him all the time. It's just unbelievable the way he plays. What's happened?
It's the 94th minute. I think that's going to be it.
Yeah.
A yellow card for Baleba for pulling back Gravenberch.
Yeah.
Oh, can't believe I've lost this.
Well, it's a draw.
It feels like a loss. It's a draw, but Trent Arnold's going to swing it in.
Brighton are top draw, mate.
What was that? I don't even know what happened there. You give a free kick to Brighton for some. We lofted it in, and I don't know what.
Brighton got a free kick.
Salah out to Szoboszlai. That's it. Full time.
You take it, mate. It's a tough place to go. I know you'll feel deflated being ahead, but honestly, you could quite easily have lost that game. Quite easily have lost the game.
Yeah. Do you know what? After the first 40 minutes, I'd have took a draw. Yeah. It really is as simple as that. But obviously, people are talking about where are Liverpool, and we said these next 2 are going to tell us everything we need to know. We've gone away to Spurs, away to Brighton.
You've got 1 point.
We've got 1 point. We should have beat Spurs. We should have been beat today. Oh, I don't know.
This is what I'm saying. It can turn around really quickly. I mean, Liverpool have made a fantastic start to the season, but these 2 games, I said before, the Spurs game, just see where you're at a couple of games down the line, because they're tricky, mate. And I think you've seen it. I mean, you knew anyway, but Brighton are a serious club under this manager. They really are. Like, and I know people talk about Graham Potter and the job that he did, and people try and put Potter in the same bracket as De Zerbi. It's absolutely astronomically clear that De Zerbi has taken this team levels above what Potter's Brighton were. Just the way they control and suffocate you possession-wise. Like, it must mentally defeat you as well. Do you know the feeling of feeling like you've been on a football pitch before? You know what it's like when you're chasing the ball and you don't feel like you're going to get it back. That's just what it must have felt like for Liverpool today. So demoralizing, mate. And like you said, if they just keep their core group, because don't forget they've lost Caicedo in the summer, they lost McAllister. That's their midfield ripped apart, really. And look at how they're still playing without those players. If they can manage to keep the likes of Matoma, that João Pedro, he was unbelievable in the first half. His movement. They can keep players like him. Lewis Dunk's obviously just a stalwart for them. And they add to that, they're going to be really serious, like top 4 contenders, to be honest with you. They're really, really top draw.
I think the best thing about Brighton is that they'll throw in a player I've never heard of, that Igor, the centre-back. Like, brilliant. Baleba, centre midfield. Do you know what I mean? They just pull out these ballers I've never heard of.
This is it, mate.
I think they've just got it going on. They're just such a well-run club.
Dingra as well, like a raw little rough diamond. Like you could
Yeah.
tell his quality let him down at some parts, but generally just his all-round play, he was terrorizing today. He was really good. I mean, Liverpool will be, I don't know, I think they'll be disappointed with the way you lost the first goal, because like you said, you go to a place like Brighton, you know they're going to control big chunks of the game with the way they keep possession. And although Brighton had a lot of the ball and they had some good early chances, especially the couple of set plays that they had, took a couple of good blocks from Liverpool and stuff. But when you go to a place like Brighton, you have to weather a bit of a storm. And I felt Liverpool were doing that and slowly coming into the game. Then the goal you gave away was so cheap. I mean, you probably want to talk about the goal, but the goal was a shocker, mate. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know who I blame more, Van Dijk or Alexis McAllister. I'm probably, for the performance for the whole 90 minutes, I'm going to put it on Alexis McAllister. Like, you cannot be taking your time to turn in a dangerous area like that against a team like Brighton. It was like he thought he had time to turn, caught on his heels, but then at the same time, Alisson, like, sprint back.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't think that he'd be taking the shot from there, but you got to cover all angles. And it was just a horrendous goal to give away. And if you've got ambitions not to win the league, we're not going to win the league, not against this Man City side. But if you've got ambitions to finish top 4, you cannot be giving away chances like that away to Brighton, away to Spurs, away to Man City, away to Arsenal. All these grounds that are ridiculously hard to go to at the minute. And to be honest, that was all Brighton deserved. For them first 40 minutes, they absolutely schooled us. They were popping it around, pressing with purpose, playing out from the back. As soon as we got it, it was almost like we started to try to play out from the back just to say, yeah, we can do it too, but we couldn't do it. No. We could not string that third pass together, and we ended up just hoofing it down the line. And more often than not, Salah would make a bad ball into a good ball and make it look like we meant it. But Brighton,
it's the only way you could get out, like being that direct, wasn't it?
And it wasn't until obviously we got that equaliser that we started to play and think, you know, we can match Brighton. We're going to have to move it ourselves quickly, move the ball, because we were just so slow. We were pretty much, we knew we were getting schooled. And, you know, how much more can you say about De Zerbi at Brighton? Travis, Manchester United, you've got to get onto his agent and stop him going to Man City and bring him in. He's like, did Pep have a little nod towards him a couple of weeks ago, saying he's learning off De Zerbi?
Yeah, he's mentioned it. Yeah, basically, like the way they play out, he's like Man City. Pep Guardiola said he's starting to emulate some of the things Brighton are doing in terms of the way they're playing out. So I don't know if that's a way of him sounding them out or him saying to the club, do you know, when I go, get this guy in. But it's tailor-made for him, that Man City job. I'm scared. Like, that's what I mean. I'm actually scared that Pep will leave and he'll go there and they'll just continue to dominate in a similar fashion. Maybe not trebles and stuff. There will be a little period of instability, but we keep going back to this word, don't we? Like brand and philosophy and the way they play, how they're just getting these players to play the way they are with numerous changes as well. Like Tyreek Lamptey's there, no Solly March and Solly March was there today, but like when they played against us, they didn't have 6 first teamers against us. Like they've got so many players out all the time, and it's just, look at the injuries. Look, substitutes as well. Billy Gilmore played against
Ciso, Estupinian, Tarek Lamptey, Milner, Moda.
I mean, it just doesn't
Webster.
matter.
Do you know what I mean? They haven't even played Webster.
This is it.
Lallana, Gilmore.
They're unbelievable, mate. I mean, back to Liverpool. Are you happy with the lineup that he picked with Elliott in there? I wasn't sure what he was going to do in the midfield.
No, I really thought after Thursday night, Gravenberch has really arrived as a Liverpool player. He's showing so much composure. Like his touches are like top draw. You think he's ready to go in now. And obviously with Curtis Jones being suspended, you thought this is tailor-made now. And I think Klopp might even think he got it wrong because he hauled Elliott off at half-time. In my Liverpool group chat, we all called it. We were like, McAllister's had the worst 45 minutes probably of his Premier League career. Elliott's not far behind him. Although Elliott, he did do well for the goal. Obviously, leaving it for Mo Salah. I don't know whether he must have got the call from Salah that I've got it. And he let it run. Salah finished it beautifully. That's pretty much the only good thing he done. But I think he got it horrendously wrong. But the thing was, we set up in like a 4-4-2, but with a diamond.
Yeah.
So it was Nunez and Salah up front, Luis Diaz on the left, Szoboszlai in the kind of false 9 at the
Out of
tip of the
possession.
diamond. So when Brighton were playing out from the back, it was pretty much 2 up front, Nunez and Salah. That left Elliott on the right with McAllister holding, and it didn't work. And I said at halftime, he's going to have to change it. So when he brought Gravenberch on for Elliott, it was no surprise to anyone. And I said in the group chat, I think we'll switch to a 4-3-3 now, but we didn't. We still
persisted with the diamond.
Persisted with this diamond. I just don't think it worked. There was this big gap on that left-hand side where Luis Diaz should have been, and he was very rarely there because he was so deep.
Yeah, so much ground to make up. We did exactly the same thing. We did split strikers, Rashford and Højlund. Again, like you said, when we played them, their centre backs started their build up more or less on the 6-yard box, very narrow, and then they split the centre backs. Like you said, it's just so much ground. You're alluding to Diaz, like on the left of the diamond, and then somebody else on the right of the diamond. When they've got to sprint out to either the centre backs or the full backs, there's just so much ground for them to make up. It's impossible. And their keepers, they can clip it to the fullback, no problem. And that's how they got out. Like you said, on the left-hand side, they had a lot of joy getting out. And it's just, I'm surprised that Klopp did that and didn't watch the United game, really, because they dominated us for a good 70, 75 minutes. We didn't have a period in that game where we were on top against Brighton. So I'm really surprised that he went with that diamond, to be fair.
The thing is, the keeper, when we tried to press from the front, like with Nunez and Salah, backed up with Szoboszlai, Elliott and Diaz, he just clipped it out to the winger, to that Adingra. Do you know what I mean? They were basically schooling us. But the first goal, it was horrendous to give away. Alexis McAllister, if he has another 90 minutes like that in a Liverpool shirt, he won't have a Liverpool career much longer, because he was absolutely abysmal. I do have a little bit of sympathy for him, because obviously he's playing in the CDM. He's not a CDM. We haven't even seen him in his favoured position yet. Obviously, if Endo was any good, it's pretty obvious now Endo's not going to have a Liverpool career.
You don't fancy him, does he?
He does not. He can't fancy him. He's slower than Harry Maguire turning. And you can tell already he's just not going to settle into any sort of Liverpool career. So for that reason, obviously he's not getting started in the Premier League. Jurgen Klopp must have seen enough in his only start in the Premier League against Newcastle.
He's not ready.
He's not. Yeah, he won't be ready ever, Trav. He's not having a Liverpool career. That much is evident. So McAllister's going to have to get used to that number 6 CDM role, and I don't think it suits him. He doesn't like playing with his back to their goal, turning out. It just does not suit him. So we're not seeing the best out of McAllister. No. I don't know how he's going to fix that. Gravenberch is not a CDM. We know that now, but he is tailor-made for this left-hand side position. And Gravenberch, obviously, if you ask any Liverpool fan, Curtis Jones has had so many starts in the last 6 months. The last 10 games of last season, if he's fit this season, Klopp just fancies him. But I bet no other Liverpool fans put Curtis Jones in that midfield 3. But yet Klopp keeps picking him. But because he was suspended today, it was tailor-made for Gravenberch to make his debut. It was crying out for it. Obviously, Klopp tried to atone for his error by putting him on at halftime for the ineffective Elliott, who, apart from the goal, he didn't have a great game. But obviously right now you're thinking McAllister is the number 6, Szoboszlai on the right, Gravenberch on the left, and then up front, I was really happy with Luis Diaz, Nunez and Salah. That is our first choice front 3 at the minute. But again, Klopp didn't deploy them right. He went with 2 up front with obviously Luis Diaz kind of on the left-hand side of the diamond. It just didn't work. It negated Luis Diaz and everything he's about. He basically didn't cause Brighton any issues down that left-hand side. And, it's ended with the game at 2-2, but Andy Robertson, for that equalising goal, he's going to be watching that back thinking, what am I going to do? I don't know if he maybe had it in his mind about Joel Matip's own goal last week against Spurs, because he dangled his left foot out and he thought, am I going to score an own goal? Pulled it back at the last second. I think that caught McAllister. I think it was McAllister behind him. on his toes, and then Lewis Dunk just smashed it in. So it was a catalogue. 2 awful goals to give away. When you had the game in the palm of your hand there, it's like it's a missed opportunity. We could have gone second in the table then. It's dropped.
Feels like it's been snatched away, don't it?
But at the start of that second half, the Ryan Gravenberch hitting the crossbar from point blank range. If that goes in the first couple of minutes of the second half, you're seeing a different game. We'd have went on and probably scored a 4th, maybe even a 5th. Then I think it would have invited Brighton onto us, but
you would have won
absolutely painful seeing it strike the bar, especially after Gravenberch scoring on Thursday night. That would have been like 2-2, and it had done him the world of good settling into his Liverpool career. Salah done everything right, supplying it down that right hand side. It was painful. But
I think
looking at the game, I think Klopp got it wrong.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this, haven't we, about Harvey Elliott, and just like he's a player that has just got a lot of craft. He's a very crafty player in terms of he's a bit of an artist. He likes to be on the ball a lot. Do you know what I mean? He's one of those players you use for his creativity. He's not, with the amount of running that you needed to do today, like you said, Gravenberch would have been tailor-made for one of those wide CDMs and a diamond if he was going to play that way. But I almost think like when you defend against Brighton when they're building up, you sort of have to be in a little bit of a 4-4-2, because I understand why people go with 2 strikers, because the centre halves like the ball a lot and you just want people in close proximity, stopping playing forwards and stuff. But then to stop the keepers pinging it to the fullbacks and the wider players, it'd be good to have your wingers quite in orthodox positions to be a little bit closer. So yeah, the diamond, like you said, it didn't really work out of possession. You couldn't really get control of the game today. I think Harvey Elliott was definitely the wrong choice. Your front 3 wasn't really deployed. I think they're starting to get a little bit of rhythm now. So it's good to see Nunes starting. And back to your point about Endo as well. I know we're writing him off, but Klopp does tend to do that with players. I think, like you said, with the midfield rebuild, you got rid of so many midfielders this year. I don't think there was much of a choice. You had to play a couple of your new signings. But especially with Nunes, he's spent a year blooding him in, really. He's not started consistently. I think he's starting to get starts now. I think the only trouble with Endo is he's 30. So it's by the time he's ready, he's going to be 32, bro.
He's going to be collecting his pension. I don't think that's the case, Trav. I think he's brought in what he hoped was an experienced player with a fantastic engine to get around the pitch. And he got this one drastically wrong. One game in, and I think he's not at the pace of the Premier League, and he never will be. Let's just be real here. He's going to rack up 20 Europa League appearances and then get dropped for the semi-final. That will be Endo's Liverpool career over. But yeah, look, this is a little bit on Jurgen Klopp. He was praised for his tactical nous last week when we went down to 9 men. This game was crying out for it. This game was crying out for us to go 3 at the back like we did against Spurs and start shutting them out. And you could see he was thinking about it, with obviously Konate getting warmed up, Gomez getting warmed up. It was too late going for it, but we should have went for 5 at the back when we were 2-1 up, the 70th minute. And we just didn't. He waited too long to make the changes. The next minute it was 2-2, and it was opportunity missed. But they were getting so much joy down their left-hand side, our right-hand side, that Trent needed help, or replaced by Gomez sooner, with Konate just come in the back. And if that means you sacrifice one of the midfielders or one of the forwards, you do it. Not Szoboszlai. Obviously, I keep him on. He's amazing, but McAllister was the one. You sacrifice McAllister. He had an absolutely horrendous 90 minutes. Sacrifice McAllister, go 5 at the back, trying to have the outball with Robbo and either Gomez or Trent, whoever was still on then, see out the game, manage out the game. But we didn't. We waited and waited. And McAllister carried on making mistakes right up till the 90th minute. He'll be disappointed himself, especially after the start he's made to his Liverpool career. There's been a few people saying on Twitter that he's been underwhelming, but like I said earlier, he's not in his natural position. He's filling a gap. You're talking filling a gap like James Milner at left back sort of thing. He's not a CDM.
It's got to be natural to you, sensing danger and sensing when the ball's going to break down and where it's going to be an intercepting. if it's not natural to you, mate, you're going to be lost, like, from a defensive standpoint. There's just no way you can ask him to start, like, protecting the centre halves properly and that. Like, the only good quality he's got there is when you're dominating the ball, you can play through him. You know he'll be comfortable on the ball. He'll get on the ball. Obviously, he's had a little bit of a giveaway today, but generally he will get on the ball and get things going for Liverpool. A lot of forward passes, a lot of penetrative passes. Just to touch on Robertson as well, he's always had the desire and stuff, but I've noticed, I know back end of, I don't think last season was his best season in a Liverpool shirt. He's made quite a few.
It wasn't anyone's though, was it?
No, it wasn't. No.
It was a honking season.
No.
When your keeper's the player of the year, you know you've had a honking season. David De Gea, you take the words out of the mouth. David De Gea was your player of the year for about 5 years on the trot, wasn't he?
Hall of Famer, mate. Hall of Famer De Gea, man. But yeah, Robertson, like, he's been a little bit up and down quite recently, but he's still a quality player.
Again, he's not getting played in his natural position, marauding down that left-hand side, because we're trying to do the inverted right-back thing with Trent. That leaves 3 defenders, with Robbo being the third.
Narrow.
Yeah, and, he's not a centre-back. I know there's his fellow Scotsman, Kieran Tierney, can play in a back 3, does for Scotland. Robertson sometimes, but for me, he's not a left centre-back. No. But yeah, today, the chance was there for us to win it and see out the game management, and we didn't do it. And like we said, so that's 2 tough away games. Fair enough, the away games are out the way. We've gone away to Newcastle, we've gone away to Chelsea, we've gone away to Spurs, away to Brighton. There's not many more tough away games now. Man City away, Arsenal away. Man United away is always tough because of the rivalry, even though you're playing not too well at the minute. But in the first 8 games, we've knocked off 4 tough away games. So I've got to be happy with that. We've got an international break now, which no one likes. You always want to hit an international break with 3 points under your belt, don't you? Flying high in the league. But this game today will tell us a lot as well. Arsenal against Manchester City. It'll tell everyone where they are. If Man City blast Arsenal, I think you can safely say that's the league done. If it isn't already, Spurs will fall away. Liverpool, obviously, I hope they're going to be up there. Arsenal are going to be up there for sure. Do we want an Arsenal win this afternoon?
Yeah, I think, we've got to stop this City domination. Anyone needs to stop it. Whoever wins it will just be praised, because if not, it can become a little bit, it's just going to become so frustrating with City just winning league after league after league. Yeah, we definitely want an Arsenal win today to make it interesting. I don't think I've seen Man City lose 2 Premier League games in a row since before Pep. I genuinely don't. So I'd love to see an Arsenal win today, to be fair. But I think, like you said, they're going to take some beating, Manchester City. I know they've lost the game, but they can put together that 10, 15 game winning streak together when they see fit. That's going to be the difficulty for everyone. I think Liverpool are going to be up there this season. I think you have made a really good start. Like you said, today, I think you'll look back on it and you'll be frustrated now, but in the wider picture, it's a decent point. You could have quite easily lost today. Definitely with the way that they play. And they are a fantastic outfit. And I thought, when I watched that first 40 minutes, like you said, I thought this makes the Man U result a little bit less embarrassing, because they're just miles ahead of us. Like, we're just not that good, and they are very good. So, yeah, I think it's a good
point. How's it happened, Trav? This is the Premier League. We've been watching it for 30 years. Brighton have only come up, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
How has this happened? Is it just absolute expert recruitment and absolute world-class coaching from De Zerbi?
Yeah, both. The thing is, the only like defense I've got of, I say big clubs, but like the bigger clubs, they have less time or margin for error. So if like all of these signings that they make, if they don't work, I know it's relative. So to Brighton, for them to spend like 5 million quid or like whatever, 10 million quid on a player is going to be expensive to them. But like Man U can't buy like a Caicedo before he's developed at like 2 million quid and make him our main central midfield player and hang our hat on him to get us to where our goals are, because there's a lot more pressure on that. But like you said, it goes hand in hand with the coaching. If you Like, so for example, if you put De Zerbi with United's current squad, I'm not saying he would win the league, but you'd see a damn sight better football after 16 months than what you're seeing now at United. That's in my personal opinion. I just think he's an unbelievable coach, especially what you've heard from like Kevin Prince Boateng and stuff like that. He talks about the details and how monotonous the training sessions are. They become a little bit boring.
I was going to say that, Trav. I was literally just about to say they must practice playing out from the back 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. It must just be repetitive. That was literally what I was going to say to you.
Yeah. But can you do that at a big club? That's the challenge. I mean, I think De Zerbi can make that step up. Personally, I think he can make that step up because the brand of football is that dominating. It's difficult not to win games when you've got the ball for 70% of the time. Like, do you know what I mean? It just makes it so difficult for opposition to score. Liverpool had to be so clinical today to get anything out of that game. Like, if they didn't have Mo Salah and that real counter punch and that aggression that Liverpool have got, not many sides have got that ability to just go 1-2 Salah goal. Do you know what I mean? Salah's he's disgusting at it. Liverpool on the counter attack with Salah, you know, it's a guaranteed goal, and not many teams have got that. Like, any other side without that clinical nature loses that today, and that's why I think De Zerbi can make that step up to a big club.
Matoma. I know I mentioned him at the top of the stream, but he's filthy.
He is. Like,
what kind of price are we talking? It's got to be 100 mil. It's got to be up by the 100 mil. And whoever gets him on it, do you know who I liken him to? Obviously, I've said he's the closest to Sadio Mane I've ever seen in the Premier League. But I liken it to Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah,
like he is so
silky,
head and shoulders standout performer in that team. Yeah, he's so silky. He's going to go somewhere. If he goes somewhere like Man City, Arsenal don't need him. Martinelli, Liverpool, we've got Diaz. Is he better than Diaz? Yeah, I'd take him over Diaz.
Would you?
Yeah. I can't talk highly enough of Matoma. He can and will go right to the top. I'm scared of who signs him, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I'd take him at I'd 100% have him at Manchester United. I think he's better than Rashford. I think he's more consistent than Rashford. And I'm a massive fan of Rashford as well. But this Matoma, I think he's special. He scores goals and his end product is so consistent. Like, when he gets in the positions, he makes the right choice 9 times out of 10. He never makes the wrong choice. Whether it's a cutback, it's a cross or a shot, he's always makes the opposition work. And that's what I like about him. And he's just so honest as well. He works hard. He's literally got everything. He has got everything. He's a special player.
The impressive thing is he's doing it for a second season in a row now. So obviously you're putting to bed them kind of meet you danger that you're a one-season wonder or a Rocky Santa Cruz. But yeah, he's bringing it for a second season. He's just top draw. But it makes you wonder, he's 26. Where the hell has he been for the last 8 years?
It's mad.
Like, to think there must be other ballers out there, little nuggets like N'Golo Kante. When Leicester signed him,
Brighton have just got them all locked away in like some big, like canister, man. They can just draw on them whenever they want. Yeah, some big vault, mate, with a safe code on it. It's just mad. I don't know how they do it. Their recruitment is outstanding, but I don't know. The infrastructure is just crazy. I think the owner, Tony Bloom, as well, deserves a lot of credit for letting the scouting network do what they need to do. And like you said, it's whether they need to sell to buy, I don't know what their financial situation is, but they just get ridiculous markup on these players. Like McAllister and Caicedo, that's 140, 150 million just for the pair, nearly. And like you said, if they sold Matoma as well, Evan Ferguson's another one that's probably going to go for big money at some stage. But I would like to see Brighton keep them for a couple of seasons.
Everyone would. Brighton must be everyone's favourite second team.
I think so.
They
literally are. They are ridiculous to watch. They're so good. But
then they got piped 6-1 by Villa last week.
I know.
I mean, that makes sense. I was looking at the game today being like, go on, do what Villa done to them. Let's get that third goal and we'll put them to bed, score a 4th, 5th, but it just never come. And they just got a foothold in the game again, started schooling us again. Apart from the last 5 minutes of the first half and the first 15 minutes of the second half, that 20-minute spell was the only time we were in the game. And we needed that third goal, that Gravenberch chance that hit the bar.
Yeah.
Like that was literally the 3 points.
You win if that goes in, don't you?
Yeah,
you win
definitely.
If that goes in.
And then they just asserted themselves after there. Right, let's go and watch Man City against Arsenal. It's going to be an absolute barnstormer. I don't know what your movements are, but if something crazy goes off, should we jump on for a live match reaction?
Jump on if something crazy goes on, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. If anyone's made it this far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And me and Travis will see you in the next one. Nice one. Cheers, Trav.
Nice one.
Up the Reds.
Header. But Gerrard! Oh, you beauty! What a head, son!